What's up, guys? My name is Nate. If you've watched any of the other videos, then you know exactly who I am. If you haven't, and you're just popping in here, I am the founder and commissioner of the OMFL and of the Grown Folks Online Community, and I am walking you through our FPR, Fair Play Rules. So if you are doing this, you're probably applied to be a part of the OMFL coach, or even the OMFL 2. And this is our rules, and these are kind of our process of how we get you all approved. So let me just show you and jump right into it as we walk our way through all of these different rules. This is the quiz. You have to excuse me with the cough drop. Done 20 of these videos today, and so my voice is completely shot. Out of the defensive fair play rules section, you're going to see what is the no switch rule, how many players can be moved on defense, and what does excessive mean in the OMFL as it pertains to play calling. So let's do this. Let's jump right into it. This is the old video, and we'll replace it as soon as this is done. Again, excuse me, if you've watched the other video that we made, then you know all of our rules can be summed up into 2 rules. Don't do anything excessively. Excessive means anything close to half of your total defensive plays. And don't run, I should say, the play that's called. Don't do a bunch of hot routes and audibles or go in the opposite direction or any of that other stuff. Run the play that you're called. If you do that, if you run the play, the defense that you've called, if you don't do anything excessively, whether that's hot routes or moving your linebacker all the way to one side or blitzing every first down or blitzing every third down, like, don't do anything like that excessively, and then you'll be just fine. This doesn't mean, again, that first down you blitz, and second down you play man, and third down you play zone. And every first down is going to be a different blitz, and every second down is going to be a different man, and every third down is going to be a different zone. That's not mixing it up. You need to mix it up completely. Read through these rules, make sure that you understand them. This was a graphic that we added back in Madden 17, and it shows you the different play art. And so we expect you to put players where they're called to be. If they are called to cover the running back, then they should not be covering the middle zone. If you're called to go after the running back, you should be guarding the running back. If you're called to be deep left, you shouldn't be short right. You shouldn't be short left. You shouldn't be in the middle of the field. You need to be where the play art has called for you to be and cover that portion of the field. What we're trying to do is avoid one fast defensive player from covering 80% of the field on the defensive side of the field. And we've all seen that. Really good stick players get a fast middle linebacker, and they're able to cover sideline to sideline and 60 yards deep. And that's just not realistic. That's not what we want here. Now, maybe Madden 18 changes some of that, but as of right now, that's what we expect. Cover the area that you're supposed to cover. And don't find yourself out where you're not supposed to be. With that said, if you know, let's just take the example that we've used so far, that you're playing middle linebacker, and you know that a tight end post out is coming, then you need to play as the outside linebacker and cover that post out. You should not be taking the left linebacker and covering that. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be taking guys way out of position. But at the same time, if in the middle of that play, you realize the route that's being ran, you're able to commit and go make that play. What we don't want to see is you commit to go cover a play. The offense changes its mind and goes a different direction. Now you rotate and go right back to where you think they're going. That's covering 80% of the field with one player. It's frowned upon here. It's not what we're looking for. Be strategic. Play multiple positions if you have to, but move it around and don't do anything excessively. If you follow those 2 rules, you'll be just fine, just like the offense. Keep the thirst to a minimum. Don't start doing lame things because you're in a tight game or close game or trying to put away a team. Just don't let it overcome you. Keep it to a minimum. Play the right way. Number one rule in offense or defense here is that we're a no switch league. You should know this by now if you've been watching these videos, but no switch means when the ball's in the air, you're not allowed to switch. We have to clean up some of these rules, but if the ball is tipped or bounced in the air, you are allowed to switch to a player and make the play, but outside of that, you must let the ball get caught before you're able to switch. If you can make a play with the player that you're controlling, then that is totally fine. Run the play that's designed to run and where it's designed to go. Don't call the same plays excessively. Calling the same zone 2 plays in a row falls as excess for me. Mix it up. Move it around. Call different things. Running 6 cover 2 zones out of the first 10 plays is excessive. Mix it up. Call other plays. Find other defenses. This means that, yes, I expect on third down there to be some man defense ran. And I will come out in quarters man defense with maybe your middle linebacker covering the middle zone, knowing that I may give up a third down. It's okay, because I'm mixing it up. And if the other guy mixes it up and I'm the better mixer-up, better player, and I'm mixing it up more and I have the better team, then I will win the game in the long run. And that's what we're expecting from owners here. So mix it up and make sure that you do not switch. Let's do some play calling here. Coach suggestion plays banned from the league. If you watch the offense, you know that. Learn your own playbook. Call your own plays. No more than 3 hot routes or 1 audible per play. This doesn't mean that you get to call 3 hot routes every single play. This means that a majority of your plays, what you call, needs to be what you run. You don't need to pinch or spread the defensive line every play. Don't need to pinch or spread the linebackers every play. You don't need to bump or back off the cornerbacks every play. You need to run a majority of your plays like it calls it with the setup that you come out in. The changes can happen. Keep it below 50% of your plays. When you make a change, you're only allowed 3. This includes fake hot routes or 1 audible. If you change up and you completely change your defense, you're allowed to do that once per play. Excessive use of show blitz. You should not have 11 people in the box every play. Even if you're calling a normal like 4-3 or 3-4 defense, but you're calling a zone which puts the strong safety or free safety in the box, mix it up. Find other things to call. You should not have 11 in the box every single play, whether that's through show blitz, whether that's through the play that you've called. You should not have 11 in the box every single play. You must rush 3 defensive players minimum every play. Excuse me. It doesn't matter who they are or where they come from. It just must be at least 3. If you're playing as a defensive lineman and the play is calling for you to rush the quarterback, you're not allowed to take that player and now play a zone. You must rush the quarterback. We're just not looking for guys to start having extra defenders in areas they're not supposed to be unless you call a zone blitz or some type of play that does that. Excessive use of only one type of coverage, whether it's man, zone, or blitz. We talked about this, blitzing every single first down or every single third down is not mixing it up. It's not being strategic. You're just calling the same plays. Mix it up. I would love to see 30-30-30, but you're not required to. But if you start going over 50% of any of those calls, we've got a problem. If all you call is blitz and zone, then we got a problem. There needs to be some man. It needs to be as close to 30 man, 30 zone as possible, or it better be 50 man and 50 zone, or it's got to be some mix of the 3. It should never be 50-50 zone blitz because it's just not mixing it up. Base defense, 4-3 or 3-4 must be used 50% of the time. When the game allows. So we're talking about, big leads, blowout games, things like that. Or if we're calling a 2-minute drill or something, you don't have to run a 4-3 or 3-4. But the majority of the game, we expect them to come out of 4-3-3-4. the occasional 4-4, the occasional 4-6, the occasional 5-2 is fine. The simple rule that we kind of have is, well, first, we just don't want to see that all game. We don't want to see 5-2 all game, 4-4 all game, 4-6 all game, nickel all game, dime all game. We don't want to see that all game. That's why we say the majority of your plays need to come out of 4-3 or 3-4. And the rule of thumb is that one extra DB per receiver is fine. But in those situations, so if it's 2nd and 25, you don't have to come out in a 3-4, 4-3. If it's 1st and 20, you can come out in nickel or dime. If it's 3rd and 30, 3rd and 10, whatever, you're allowed to play the defense to protect yourself. Just keep it realistic and run out of a 4-3 or 3-4 majority of the time. Man or zone may be used up to 50% of the game to fit your style and your team. But you shouldn't go over. You should be mixing that up. These are not hard set numbers, but we're strategically and we're asking that our owners mix it up. The above rule is not in effect, when inside the 5-yard line or inside of 2 minutes of each half. Those situations, call what you got to call to protect your team and to play defense. Run commit can be used in any situation of 2 yards or less, but it's banned in every other situation. So, if it's 3 yards or more, you're not allowed to use run commit at all. Pre-snap movements. Defensive line, you're not allowed to move them at all. Only line shifts, pinch, spread, left, right. Then again, that shouldn't be done every single play. Linebackers, you're only allowed to move your linebacker inside the box. That means, 5 yards from the line of scrimmage and inside your left and right ends. Inside that box, you can move one guy, but you're not allowed to put them in the gap. So you're not allowed to move them up into the gap between the two defensive linemen. That tricks the AI and causes things to go out of whack. We just don't want to cause that. So if you move a player, you have to keep them inside that box. You want to bump them a little left, a little right, a little towards the middle, whatever, you can do that. Safeties and cornerbacks can be moved up to the box, or they can move up to the line of scrimmage if it's outside the hash. But again, keep that to a minimum. You're allowed to move one player. So these manual movements, whether it's safety or a linebacker or anyone, if you manually move them, not a line shift, not a pinch, not a spread, nothing like that, if you manually move them, you must stay as that player until the ball is snapped. Once the ball is snapped, you can then switch to whatever you want to switch to, as long as the ball is not in the air. On special teams, field goals, punts, those types of things, no movement of any player pre-snap at all. And again, the gray area that we talked about, when the ball is popped in the air or fumbled, anything like that, you are allowed to switch to then make the play. So that is a look at our defensive FPR. I hope that this has helped, and we will see you at the rest of the FPR, and good luck in completing your quiz.